5 o'clock in the morning, I hear a screech over my head. With my super autism powers, I just started talking to them. British people saying that everything is fine. Nothing in England is fine.
How you doing?
Yeah,
All the
nothing
time
in England
your
is
ear.
fine. But also in Christianity, it basically follows that thing. Don't be half naked in the street. But no, Duolingo is the worst.
Peter, you claim to speak 25 languages. I'm not going to lie, when people hear it, they get furious. Just us, this one hater I saw the other day who has the whole YouTube channel proving you're wrong that you don't speak it. So my question to you is, what fluency means to you?
Fluency means to me the ability to hold a conversation for a period of time in a language without, for example, stuttering or searching for a word. Fluency doesn't mean the ability to speak a language perfectly. It doesn't mean you don't make mistakes. It just means you can speak it. There are lots of people who can speak a language, or at least understand a language very well. They know the grammar, they know the vocabulary.
Yeah.
And when it comes to speaking, they freeze up. That's not fluency. I'm the opposite. I'm talking all the time, making loads of mistakes, but I'm not stuttering. That is what fluency means to me.
So you would say mistakes. Because so many people are worried, you know. Most of us, we're stuck in a box of like, okay, but what if I make a mistake? What if I... It's a, you know, regular thing. We have to do it to progress.
I love making mistakes because when I make mistakes, especially when I'm speaking on the internet, doing my language interviews or whatever, I watch them again and I find my mistakes and I learn from them. Those people who are too scared to make mistakes don't learn. They just sit and do the exercises or pass the online exams, but they can't talk. Mistakes are how you learn a language.
So you would say the goal is to actually say something, but say it in a wrong way rather than being like, okay, yeah, I'll wait until it's the moment, until I'm fluent.
Well, the goal is not to make mistakes. The goal is to speak it well. But you shouldn't be worried about making those mistakes. If you make mistakes, don't be stressed. Just keep talking.
I came up with one thing, because you speak so many languages, which is, my head just cannot comprehend that. It's ridiculous.
I'm sure it can.
And can you please stop? Yeah. So could you please maybe say something in, we'll play a little game that you're maybe say, why did you learn one language, or when did you learn a language in this language? And you can waffle, so you can make up a language. You can use maybe Italian accent on Japanese. And I would have to remember everything what you said, and I would have to guess at the end which language you were actually speaking. What about that?
Nou, bijvoorbeeld kan ik deze taal omdat ik heb daar gewoond, 3 jaar.
Did you finish the first one?
That was one, yeah.
Give 1 second. I have no idea, okay.
You have no idea?
Could you repeat it?
Well, I forgot what I said. Ik kan deze taal omdat ik heb daar gewoond 3 jaar.
Okay, next one.
Jij kan prøve tale en andere sprog, for eksempel, og du skal være, eller ik vil, hvilken sprog jeg taler.
Okay, next one.
Most beszélek a nyelv, milyen tegnap beszéltem. Tegnap beszéltem ezzel a nyelvet, például online.
Okay, I'm ready. That's so hard, I cannot.
So hard?
Let's go, let's keep going.
Ну, можно сейчас, если буду говорить этого языка, будет нормально для тебя. Ты все понимаешь, конечно.
Okay, next.
Diese Sprache, damit bin ich aufgewachsen, also für mich kein Problem. Du verstehst diese Sprache auf jeden Fall.
Then sixth.
Sixth one. J'ai appris sa langue quand j'avais 3 ans.
Okay, next one.
Questa lingua ho studiato all'università e qui ho lavorato 1 anno.
Okay, next one.
Es un idioma que no te gustas.
I understood what you said, but now I'm confused with something. Okay, next one.
To je ten najlegraczniejszy język na świecie.
Easy. Yeah, it is najlegraczniejszy język na świecie.
To je prawda.
Do you want to keep going or not?
How many more do we want?
I don't know, like 2?
2 more?
No, I think... Okay,
how many we got 8. Do you remember the 8?
We have 10.
Yeah, but how have we done so far? Even I've forgotten.
Okay, let's go. First one. It sounded a bit of a Hungarian.
The first one?
Yeah.
No. Should I tell it already?
Yeah.
Dutch.
Are you joking?
No.
Kan
wel Nederlands. Bijvoorbeeld in het Nederlands.
That's true, I'm so not smart.
3 jaar.
Okay, You know, it's so hard because I don't remember.
Beefte har jeg til den andre sprog.
It's a new language that you're speaking now. Like a different one.
That's the
A
second
Danish.
Yeah.
Okay, next one was, I don't remember that, you see.
Beszéltem a nyelvet.
I thought this was
például.
Danish.
Nem, ez nem Donald. Ez más a nyelv.
Hungarian.
Yeah. Nyelv is the secret.
Can you just go again and I'll just, I don't think I will remember it. What was the fourth one?
Wahrscheinlich Deutsch, habe ich schon vergessen.
No, you spoke German, 100%. Then also what's...
Тогда был русский, я думаю.
Русский, я поняла.
Конечно, в jeden Fall.
Then
Ho
Russian.
parlato l'italiano anche.
You didn't speak Italian.
No, ho parlato l'italiano.
You spoke Italian, you
Sì.
spoke Spanish.
Otra vez en español.
At the end.
Después.
Aha, so I thought it was Spanish and Spanish at the end.
Double Spanish.
And then at the very, very end, of course, it was Czech. Something like
Czech.
Russian music, of course.
Anything else?
Polish you didn't speak.
Well, it'd be too easy. Russian was easy.
Russian was the easiest.
Et une autre langue, mais tout ça.
French you
Bien sûr.
spoke. This task that I gave them, it's too hard for me. And which language you would think is the easiest for you when you speak it?
What?
As
Now
for
or to
natives-
learn?
just
Or then
like-
my native language, English.
As your native language is English, but you also said it's German.
German, well, I grew up speaking German as a child, so I wouldn't really say that's a difficult language to learn because I learned it in a different way to the ones I learned later on. But
Yeah.
probably the easiest language I learned was Dutch.
The
The
easiest
reason
was
why-
Dutch?
Yeah, of course. Well, it's like you learning Czech or Slovak. It's like your,
Oh, that's
your
true.
neighbor language, right?
So you would-
Dutch is half English, half German. So it's like a dialect for me. Took me 3 weeks.
It's just with an English accent. You say,
Yeah.
ich spreche.
What time is it? Wat is de tijd?
Wat is de tijd?
Or hoe laat is het? How late is it?
Could you give me another example?
Think of a word.
What?
Door. Deur. Train. Trein.
Trein.
I'm
Yeah,
on the
this-
train. Ik zit in de trein. It's
zit
just...
in de trein.
Everyone thinks it's like weird
You
English.
encourage me now to learn Dutch.
Really? It'd be
actually.
super easy. If you speak English and German, you can learn it like that.
And when it comes to the hardest language, which one would you choose and why?
I choose it because I failed it. I did it at university. I did not pass the exam.
Do you speak it now? Oh.
No. The reason is, at university, I decided to study 8 languages. No one at my university had ever studied 8
Simultaneously?
languages. Yeah. Well, 2 of them were English and German. I could already speak, but I had to learn the grammar and do translations.
Yeah.
And I was studying 6 other languages, including
Yeah.
Chinese and Japanese. Chinese, I cheated in the exam, so that's great.
How did it look like?
What, the cheating?
Yeah.
The teacher had no idea. I sat in the exam and she said, give in your phones. Right, I have 2 phones. Here you go, have one phone. Just kept the other phone. Put it
When
on the
was
table.
that?
Oh, 2014 maybe.
Okay.
She had no idea. And in the speaking exam, I had a bit of paper with all the answers. And she said, what's on the bit of paper? I went, nothing. She went, okay.
She,
No clue.
So she didn't touch even more on this. They were like, oh,
No,
nothing.
she's
I
like,
just have
okay.
a paper. I'd love to carry it with me. Even
She was
like,
so naive, it was hilarious.
Where was she from?
China. She just believed me because I said, I wouldn't cheat. And she went, okay, good. And just walked off. And I did
You
my
know,
exam.
some cultures are like that. For example, I remember being in the Netherlands and we were warning our friends and we're like, no, don't leave your drinks at the bar. Don't do it because people can do and they can do something to your drink. And they were like, why would they do that?
Exactly.
People are nice to everyone. Why would they do it? So people are very, when it comes to cultures, it's funny.
Yeah. But in Japanese, I couldn't cheat. I couldn't get away with it. They were looking too much. But the reason I failed was I walked into the classroom on the first day and it was a sea of Asian faces. I was the only white person in that class. And when I asked why, all the students said, we're business students, we have to study one language, so we chose the easy one. By the way, Japanese is statistically the hardest language for an English person to learn. So I walk in and they're all business students, all Chinese, some Korean, saying, we're learning Japanese because it's easy. I was stuffed from the first.
you
From
were
the moment I walked in,
intimidated.
I was done.
Yeah, so you were quite intimidated when you saw it.
Yeah, but I got my revenge on them.
How?
When we did the exam, we had 100 questions. Question 1, okay, got it. Question 2, okay, sort of got it. Question 3, no idea. What did I do? Grabbed the paper, walked up to the teacher and said, arigatou gozaimasu, sayonara, and walked out. And all of them looked.
Because Japanese people are always so shocked when you speak its language.
Yeah.
It's so funny because there are so many influencers nowadays and they go online, they film themselves shocking Japanese people, how
Yeah.
they speak, "Oh, genki desu ka?" And just,
This is actually my problem now because I speak all these languages, but they're almost all European languages. So I speak Polish or something, and someone says, well, maybe he is Polish or half Polish. It's not that impressive. If I spoke Chinese, they'd be really surprised and I get millions of comments or Japanese and they say, wow, he speaks an Asian language. I speak German. They go, yeah, he might be German.
Yeah.
So it's not as impressive in a way.
That's true. Each country reacts differently. That's why it's quite demotivating, for example, when you go to France. And what were you doing then? Because, of course, everyone started somewhere. French is not your native language. Yeah. And when you go to France, you're being confronted with people being like, it's not baguette, it's baguette.
I'll give you an example. I went to a restaurant in Switzerland in the French-speaking part, and I ordered in French, but I didn't know what the French word for Wiener Schnitzel was. They speak German in Switzerland also, so I just said, est-ce que vous avez un Wiener Schnitzel, s'il vous plaît?
Wiener Schnitzel.
And he got out a bit of paper, and he wrote on the bit of paper, and he said, I can't remember what the word was, tranche penne. And he was like, in French, we say tranche penne. And just gave me the paper.
Did he say it in a rude way? We're like, and it's this.
Or yes, in a very French way. Here you go. This is the word. And I was like 13. I was like, excuse me, speaking to you in French. So like,
how did you feel then?
Oh, I didn't really care because he's a French speaker. We don't listen to them anyway.
So you think people shouldn't be intimidated, shy, when even a native speaker corrects them in this, I would say, rude way, or just switch immediately to English as it happens with Germany, for example?
Do you not think that people are correcting me all the time and criticizing me?
Yeah, of course. I see on the internet. So the comments are wild sometimes when I go to your profile.
I get more negative comments than positive comments, but it doesn't intimidate me because I just look at these haters and the losers, laugh at them and keep going. Why would you care what they think about you? They're nobody.
And you don't know them.
No. When you look at their profile picture, they're either weird or they just got some anime picture or like a dragon
they're
with 8 followers.
Yeah, they are anonymous.
Why do I care?
Yeah, so that's true. You are courageous enough to show your face, to actually show all of that and do all of these steps. It makes sense. Especially what I wanted to touch on, I touched at the beginning, this hater, which is extremely funny, that the guy has a whole YouTube account where he's like, I will prove you wrong. Yeah. So we spoke about it already previously. He's like, Peter said he'll create a video speaking Hungarian for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
He spoke 25.
Yeah.
So debunked. He doesn't speak it.
Also, my Polish one was debunked because the video was 30 minutes or 32 minutes, but the person I was speaking to was speaking half the time. So actually, it's only 15 minutes. It doesn't count because he wasn't speaking the whole 30 minutes.
Why do
Are you
people
mental?
do it?
It's a conversation.
It's a conversation, of course. Like sometimes you speak, sometimes I speak.
Yeah.
But why do you think people do that? Because it always surprises me. You learn, you go out of your comfort zone, and then there is always someone who's going to be like, Peter.
That's life.
That's life.
Doesn't matter. And the funny thing is, this guy that's criticizing me is an Australian. In fact, I don't normally talk about him. Yeah. Seeing as you brought it up, on my page, I just pretend he doesn't exist. I haven't watched his videos in particular, just the first one I've seen clips of. But he can't speak languages himself. The language he claims to speak the best is Esperanto.
Esperanto.
Which is, nobody can speak Esperanto natively. So no one can particularly correct him or say he's making mistakes.
Yeah, Esperanto is a funny language. It's especially a language that my brother, language simp, he literally hates on that because why would you learn that?
Exactly. It's like people who write to me, because obviously I have my own language school. You write to me, you want to learn a language, I'll find a teacher for you. Until they write to me and say, can I learn Klingon? I'm like, what do you mean you want to learn?
Where do they speak it?
Klingon is the language in, I think it's Star Trek, in that TV show that the aliens speak.
Like Poki-Tonka or Poki.
The hater also speaks that one, I think. That's on his page. I have no idea what it is. But Toki Pono or something.
I mean, I don't mind when people do it. For example, I have Latin language at church because it's a very important language to my faith, of course. But I would love to learn ancient Greek. It's interesting, but I have a goal. I want to read the old kind of thing, because either you can communicate with people or you can read maybe something from history, maybe some books and everything. So it's a goal. I'm not going to judge anyone's goal, but why do you need Esperanto? Like, you're not going to communicate with no one. Now you speak English with every single person on earth. Almost.
Well, I'm not a defender of Esperanto. I would never learn it myself. In fact, if you're going to learn a language, learn it English. I mean, I don't have to, obviously, already speak it. But if you want to learn one language to talk to everybody, learn English. You don't need Esperanto.
Yeah.
Why? Nobody speaks it. If you walk around the streets of Poland or go to France or go to China, and you speak to them in Esperanto, no one's going to understand you.
Yeah. I think Esperanto is a language made only for European people, though.
I think also. And it's mostly like romance languages, a lot of French, a lot of Latin and put together. What's the point?
How do you decide which language is next when you learn?
I just close my eyes and go on a map.
No, seriously, I'm asking. Is it the truth or not? Because these
it's
are
normally
mostly
passion.
European.
If I feel a language, I'll go for it.
What do you mean feel a language?
Feel it. Like, I want to learn this language.
Okay, so you actually need to have a clear understanding why you want to move forward with the language, not being like, oh, I want to learn Spanish now because, yeah. And then when you ask me, why would you learn Spanish? I couldn't answer. You wouldn't.
Yeah. Well,
advise
people
that.
tell me all the time, oh, you need to improve your French because it's a big language, or you need to improve your Spanish. And they say, why are you learning Hungarian? Nobody speaks Hungarian, apart from 13 million people.
Yeah.
But why? I want to. It's a challenge. I just do it because I want to do it. Most people need a motivation to learn a language.
Yeah.
They have a job, or they're going to move to that country, or they have family. Most people work with motivation. What you need to do is determination.
Yeah.
Just say, I am going to learn this language. I want to do it. And you just do it every single day.
Every single day you need to be committed.
Yeah.
What if you skip a day?
Well, you'll survive.
Okay.
I mean, I'm
so
skipping
you know
all
how
my
it
classes today. I'm here.
It doesn't have to be every single day.
No, it doesn't.
But just being consistent.
Regular. Yeah.
Just, it makes sense. The topic I want to speak about is autism. Autism and spectrum. I can sense my people. I know you, you know me. We already spoke about it 100,000,000 times. I know you're in a spectrum, so am I. And it helps me in a tremendous way with languages. You know this feeling that when you learn one language, you just need to keep going. Another one, another one, another one, and it doesn't end. However, there are so many downsides to it where you just don't know how to interpret people. You don't know what they mean. They need to be very direct with you. And did you have maybe any moment in your life where it made everything even harder for you?
Relationships are quite hard.
Yeah, tell me about
Like
it.
personal relationships. Because you say you have autism. They said I had Asperger's syndrome, which is slightly different.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the difference is.
Yeah, I think
But that's
now
what
it's
I've got.
all like being in a spectrum. That's how they.
I think also they said it was offensive because people with Asperger's thought they were better than autistic people or something, so we put them together. I have no idea.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. But no, relationships are hard because I'm just focused on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just ignore the other person because I'm studying or working. I'm like, you also work. Come on. They go, no, I want to do relationship stuff. No, time to study, time to work, time to go to the gym, time to go to Poland, do a podcast. Never stop. Just obsession with what I'm doing.
I understand it extremely well because I cannot explain it to any other person. And then people think that I'm mad at them. But on the other hand, I think all the time that they are angry at me for no reason, which is interesting. But when it comes to languages, did it make you maybe less confident or you didn't even worry about that?
No, it removed all the fear. And I think that's one of my strengths of language learning, that I don't have any fear, so I'll just go up and talk to people. For example, people might have seen on my Instagram yesterday the stories about me being on the train, crossing the Polish border, thinking we're going to speak Polish now, and it turns out all the people in the dining car are Hungarian. Now, most people would be intimidated by that. With my super autism powers, I just started talking to them, having conversations. They were probably annoyed. They're thinking, we've got to cook, we've got to serve people, stop talking. I was like, no, let's have a conversation and film it.
Did you get something for speaking your Hungarian?
Yeah, I got 2 free beers. See? Superpower.
Wow. No, but that's actually a good thing because when you speak a language to people, it opens a completely new universe and where they just give you new things. They give you things for free. They're like, oh, merhaba, teşekkürler. And it's just...
It's done.
You just are being constantly bombarded with such gifts just because you speak.
Yeah. But what I've noticed often is people aren't as impressed as you expect them to be. They say, oh, wow, it's cool you speak Hungarian. But they have no concept of how much effort I put in to do this. Like 3 years. They're like, oh, he just speaks a bit of Hungarian. No. It's a lot of work to learn a language. And people who haven't done it have no concept of how difficult this is. So going back to the subject of haters, even if they said, oh, we can only speak 15 languages, the other 10 he can't speak that well. I'm thinking, are you hearing yourself?
Yeah.
Can you hear what he only speaks 15?
Only speaks 15.
It's
always
ridiculous.
to put someone down.
Yeah.
I don't get why people do that. And would you say it made you we spoke that it made you more confident, but maybe which kind of superpowers you got apart from being overconfident, being like, being able to speak on the spot, maybe some.
It gives you the ability to focus on one thing. A normal person couldn't learn 20 languages, 25 languages. They get bored and go off and do something else.
That's true.
And that's more like ADHD. But I'm just solely focused on the one thing that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And when I've done one language, I'm automatically next language. So I finished Polish basically. Now I'm doing my exams now.
B2
A normal
exam.
person, normal people would say, okay, I did that. I want to rest. No.
Yeah.
Like next week, Arabic classes. Let's go.
I'm the same. And then when people ask me, okay, Agi, why do you learn so many languages? I'm like, because I like.
Yeah. This is just the one thing I want to do. And then they say, oh, do you want to go skydiving? Or do you want to go swimming? I'm like, no, languages.
Oh, if it's in Portugal, then yeah, because I can practice my
Exactly.
Portuguese. And they're like, Agi, not everything has to be related to languages. I'm like, okay. Why are you doing podcast now? Yeah, it's about languages. Okay,
Yeah,
Agi. Everything all the time. But to me, I started to treat it as we spoke, as a superpower rather than being all these, intimidated by that or sad that, oh, I'm different than anyone. I just stopped treating it like that.
I think I can hide it quite well. At least I think I can. Maybe people who deal with me are like,
Or
no.
maybe people who are in the spectrum, they can sense you, because I had some doubts, but of course I don't approach people straight away and I'm not saying, are you this? I'm trying. I learned so many of my social skills from, of course, diagnosing myself pretty late. I had no idea. I was just this odd child in the classroom being super direct, being like, you're stupid. Why are you orange? Why are you this? Why was your makeup?
I did that.
Why this? And they're like, Agi, you shouldn't be saying that. And I'm like, why? But genuinely, why?
Why?
Or you shouldn't be saying, why? So I didn't understand, but now I kind of can understand my social skills a bit more with people. But it's just funny.
Yeah. I think it took you about 4 hours to ask me the question. That was pretty quick.
I know.
After 4 hours, you're like, you have autism. I was like, how do you know?
Yeah.
You can sense your own people.
Yeah.
But I don't know if other people can sense it because I'm not them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm annoying all the people around me.
No, but
I'm just not noticing them. I'm just doing my thing.
That's true. But I also have this one thing that whenever I'm interested in something, I will learn every single thing.
Yeah.
So when I got diagnosed, I was like, I need to learn every single thing. So I saw you have this, and that, and I diagnosed you immediately. I shouldn't be doing that. But this is how my brain works, and I just cannot change it.
Yeah.
Describe a situation where speaking badly actually helped you.
Well, every time I speak badly, I learn. We touched on it before. But I am really happy to speak badly and make mistakes, because then certain people, not everyone, but they will help you to improve the language. Not like the French people, okay, they're annoying. But normal people, they will help you out, and friendly. Polish people are quite good at this. They'll hear you speak Polish.
Yeah.
You make mistakes.
They usually
they'll
don't
help
switch.
you out. The people who are too scared to talk are the ones who will never get help from other people. I wouldn't say speaking badly has helped me in any specific way. It's always better to speak well rather than badly. But there's nothing negative in speaking badly.
Yeah, of course. I don't even understand why is that a problem.
No.
You
Well, that's
just-
autism again. Just
No,
I don't
no,
care.
but even it's just a bit. Why you have to start speaking, going to your grammar books and being tied to it all the time. Of course, you have to sometimes check out what's in a book, but treating it as your only method won't get you anywhere.
I think this is one of the reasons why I take classes, because I'm not naturally focused on vocabulary and grammar. I need a teacher to almost whip me and say, come on, you got to study the grammar. You got to do this. Otherwise, I'd just be talking. This is another thing when I have Polish classes, for example. We've got an hour. We're supposed to do a bunch of exercises.
Yeah.
The first 15 minutes, I'm blabbing. I'm just talking in Polish. And she's like, okay, we're going to do the exercises. I do like a few exercises, and I'm like, przerwa, break, come on. Let's talk. And she's like, come on. I'm like, no, I just like talking. I'm a really bad student in that way. But I think that's why I do classes, because I need somebody to make me do the grammar. Otherwise, I'd just be talking, like with you or people in the street. And I'd never really improve. I'd make the same mistakes again and again, because people don't naturally correct you in public. They go, okay, I sort of know what he wants to say. You need the teacher to push you and go, no, that's wrong.
So
Maybe
there's
not as much
always-
as my Ukrainian teacher, who goes absolutely crazy if I make the same mistake twice. But
Really?
yeah,
It's
he goes
interesting
crazy.
that your Polish teacher isn't the same, because most of the Slavic teachers, they are pretty patient.
Well, I mean, my Polish teacher is a 35-year-old young woman
Yeah.
who's friendly. Ukrainian teacher, 50-year-old Soviet.
She's been through it.
That's probably the
He's-
difference.
He's been through
He's
it.
like,
yeah.
wrong, mistake. We done this like 2 weeks ago. And I'm like,
That's the
"Sorry."
same way my father teaches everyone. He's like, we've done it 1,000 times. But I'm like, listen.
I mean, I make the same mistakes thousands of times in a language, and I'm not bothered.
Yeah, sometimes
keep going again
it's
and again
one
and again.
word that you cannot remember, and it's very normal that
Yeah.
you just keep going.
I had this in Polish actually. When you say I speak mówię,
Yeah.
I couldn't understand the e at the end because in
L,
Czech you
this-
have the L.
Mówię, yeah.
Mówię. I'd always say mluvím because I spoke Czech before Polish, so hundreds of times I was just like mówię, and she'd go no mówię, but she didn't go crazy, didn't get angry at me, and that's exactly how I learn. I think it's better if somebody just kindly says mistake, and you just go again and again. I don't need somebody to get a book and hit me on the head and go learn.
Do you mix all of these Slavic languages? You just touched on the fact that Czech and Polish, they're very similar. But then you have ruski jazyk, ukraińska mowa. Then maybe you'll start learning finally my mowa belaruska.
Maybe.
And
If we can
then-
find me a teacher, there's one out there.
I cannot.
Nobody seems to teach this language.
No, it's a bit tricky with Belarusian now. But do they mix in your head, these languages?
Normally not. If I'm here, for example, with the team, we're speaking Polish, I'm only speaking Polish. I'm not thinking Russian. But earlier today, for breakfast, I went to a place called Milk Bar. The people here will know what it is. It's owned by Ukrainians, but it's popular in Ukraine. They've got a lot of them here. And I was mixing it up because I didn't know what language I was supposed to speak. I assumed I was supposed to speak Ukrainian, so I start speaking Ukrainian, but they don't seem to understand and they continue responding in Polish. So then I get confused between the two and I make a sentence which is like half Ukrainian, half
At
Polish. So I'm
least
like,
they
I don't know which one to use.
understood.
They understood, you see.
You see, you have to. You have to make this, you have to mix. The goal is for them to understand you.
Exactly.
Rather than, even when I speak with you, sometimes I just freestyle with Portuguese. It's
just
just
randomly.
like anything that comes to my mind. In some, also in Russian, some love-related words. For me, it's easier to express it in Russian rather than going in English, Polish, or whichever language I speak.
But that's funny because in my relationship, I only speak Russian. Because when I met my Ukrainian girlfriend, she couldn't speak English, basically nothing, like a few words. And I couldn't speak Ukrainian. So the only language we could speak together was Russian. So for the last 4 years, we've only spoken Russian. And now I'm learning Ukrainian. I'm saying, okay, we have to practice some Ukrainian speech. She goes, no. It's weird because your Russian is better than your Ukrainian. And I already get frustrated at you making mistakes in Russian. So I don't want to speak a language you can speak worse. I'm like, but please.
This girl she was always interesting.
Yeah. And all the Ukrainians get really annoyed at her because they're really nationalistic about the language and say, no, you should only speak Ukrainian.
Yeah.
Even though her family is probably about 200 kilometers from here.
Yeah.
They're like on the Polish border, so they're really Ukrainian. But no, she'll only speak Russian to me. Insist
I
upon it.
have the same with some people. I have my Brazilian friend. I taught myself Portuguese because I had another friend. She was from Europe, from Portugal, but I don't know. She left me, so I just found this Brazilian friend, and we met each other when I was basically a very robotic Portuguese, not non-existent, and we were speaking English.
Yeah.
But then I switched in my head and I just started speaking Portuguese, but it was still a bit weird for me to speak. So I understand your girlfriend. It's a bit weird to now accent just like that switch.
To be fair, it'd be weird for me to speak to her in English. That would frustrate me.
That's true. It's weird. Like you connected in Russian, it's Russian, but I understand your frustration because you're learning Ukrainian. So it's...
Well, I'm not so frustrated. It's my teacher, the 50-year-old Soviet man, who gets really angry about it. He's
I
like,
need to
you
meet him."
will learn Ukrainian and you will speak Ukrainian. I'm
At
like,
least he
"No one."
motivates you. Like if it's not forced, it's nothing.
Yeah, and I can't go to Ukraine now, so...
Why?
Well, I could go, but my girlfriend doesn't want to go.
Yeah, she doesn't.
She doesn't really... She'd prefer... And I think I sort of agree that it's better if she wants to see her family, we should bring them over to Europe. Because the last time I went to Ukraine, I think it was the last night in Lutsk, which is about 300 kilometers from here. 5 o'clock in the morning, I hear a screech over my head.
Oi.
I look out. Missile went straight over. I've got a video of it on my phone. It was like a few meters away. Just went straight over our head. And then, like, the next street along just hit a shop. And it made me think, okay,
We need to leave.
maybe she's right. Maybe we shouldn't really be here. It's a bit more dangerous. Because this was a time when Only in the East there was the war, and in the West it was really quiet and really peaceful. You thought nothing was going to happen. And then when that occurred, I was like, okay, let's not go here. We can go anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Maybe not here.
Not now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did you meet again?
In Kiev.
In Kiev.
Yeah.
And you met in Russian. And how did she react that just like random man approaches her? How did it look like? And how did you approach the situation?
Well, when I was in Ukraine, I wasn't living there, but I was visiting every second month. I would only speak to people in Russian because it's the only language I knew. I knew people didn't speak English. I couldn't speak Ukrainian. And this was a year before the war.
Yeah.
So it was really normal in Kiev to speak Russian.
Yeah.
In fact, it was more common to speak Russision there
I
than
remember when
Ukrainian.
I was there as well. And
So this wasn't abnormal to them.
Yeah.
Now, if I went up to someone and spoke Russian, they'd be...
it's good,
Who is this?
as they should. They
Yeah.
shouldn't.
But back then, it was like speaking Polish in Warsaw. It was just the language you speak.
Yeah.
So it's normal.
So, but the more I ask about the fact that it's not normal for a foreigner to be in Ukraine speaking Russian or Ukrainian. It's not normal. Didn't you react a bit weird that you? How do you know this language? Why do you learn it? Because it's the most common reaction for Slavic people. Why would you learn Czech?
I touched on this a little bit when I spoke about the Hungarians, but people don't tend to be as shocked as you expect them to be when you speak their language. They don't say, oh, wow, you learnt my language. That's crazy. More than you expect them to. If you know a few phrases, they tend to say, oh, wow, you can speak a few phrases in my language. That's amazing. Then as you get better, they're less impressed.
Yeah.
They go, well, yeah, you speak.
You
Okay.
speak.
No one
It's
really
good.
cares.
At least they don't switch to English because I think it's the worst thing that could happen.
Yeah.
Happens in Germany. You made a small mistake in any of the Western languages, they switch to English.
Yeah, in German, I have this. But because I speak it basically natively,
Yeah.
without an accent, they never switch. But when we're working together and we're writing, they'll flip back to English in writing, which I don't really care. Because I actually prefer to write in English than any other language. Languages for me are spoken things, they're not written things.
Yeah.
So I don't care.
Unless you
I'll always
really
write
need
in
it.
English.
Unless
Yeah.
you really need to text or write.
Unless you have to. But most of these German speakers, I think Germans and Swiss and Austrians, more than even Dutch or Danish, they automatically write in English. And it's really weird to me. But speaking, it's never really happened. In the Netherlands, I speak Dutch, and I'm quite happy. They won't switch to English.
Whoa.
No.
Wow, that's a success.
No, that's like a really big success. But then if I go to Denmark, maybe a bit
Right.
more, and then Sweden, Norway, they definitely switch back.
Switch
But to be fair, I've only been to Norway once, which was a disaster. So
It is definitely on my goal. I was on my list. I would say Finnish is my goal to learn.
Why?
Because I like snow sometimes.
I love your reasoning. That's the craziest reasoning ever. I would like to learn Finnish because I like snow.
Sometimes because I don't like it when that often because I don't like cold. But Finnish, I like sauna.
Okay. And this is a reason to learn Finnish.
Yeah.
I'm
To me, it
just
makes
going to
sense.
bully you about this.
To me, makes sense. I regret I said that now. Coming back to your Ukrainian lovely girlfriend, do you speak maybe Ukrainian? Do you have any chance to speak Ukrainian maybe with her mom?
Yeah, but her mother doesn't understand how little Ukrainian I speak. So she speaks like her dialect and incredibly quickly and mumbled. And I go,
What does she say about your Ukrainian?
going
Дуже
back to the
погано.
other point, she doesn't really notice it. Oh, we just speak Ukrainian. Okay. She never said this is crazy.
But does she comment like, oh, дуже погано?
No, she just talks. She's like, oh, do you want this? Do you want something to drink? Where are we going?
Okay, and
Blah,
she
blah,
just carries on.
Yeah. Maybe she says to my girlfriend, oh, wow, it's really good. Never to me.
Yeah. But I think it's the thing that people on the internet, they see certain things, but then in real life, there's actually nothing to be afraid of.
No.
Like you just...
When you speak, people aren't judging you as much as you think they are.
Yeah, of course, on the internet, everyone can be anonymous, as we touched at the beginning. So everyone can say their opinion, but in real life, no one... We're speaking about extreme examples where people actually... You had one situation in your life where a French person did that, or
But that didn't even
Danish.
bother me. That was just a funny example.
But it happened once or a few times, but it doesn't happen in real life. Then you compare it to the internet. Of course, people will help you because they're anonymous. They can say anything.
You've seen it. They can go to my comments on my YouTube. YouTube's probably the worst, actually. Instagram, they're sort of nice. and
That's
right in front.
ridiculous.
YouTube is the one place, if you go to any of my videos, just every single comment is fraud, fraud, he's a scammer, he can't speak Hungarian. I was like, I've got a 30-minute interview in Hungarian. Wrong. No. It's bad. Doesn't speak Polish. I'm like, did you see the interview? No.
That's what I wanted to say. Because in YouTube, you actually have 27.
27 or 29.
Videos.
You need to do 3 minutes more.
Where you speak this language. But on Instagram, a minute, you can... Oh, I remember what you said the other day to me that, no, he doesn't speak Hungarian. I'm just taking Hungarian as an example. He doesn't speak Hungarian. He just memorized.
This was the best comment I ever got. That somebody said that I couldn't speak the language. I just memorized what I had to say.
For 30 minutes.
For 30 minutes. So 27, yeah. And I was like, are you kidding? If I could do that, that's impressive. And even more impressive was when somebody said, you learned the language for the interview. And I thought, in the 2 weeks before I knew it was going to happen, that is the best compliment you've ever given me. That's better than speaking 25 languages. He learned a language in 2 weeks.
It's
amazing.
Just for this
Thank
interview.
you.
Such a motivated, determined
Ridiculous.
person.
And they've said it's a green screen. Somebody said I was an AI, so I'm not really here. Any kind of reason to not have this.
Now we're moving to hotshots. You have to choose one option, one on that. Just simple answers, just instinct.
I'm ready.
Getting complimented on your accent or on your vocabulary?
Accent.
Why?
Because I'm quite good at learning vocabulary. No one ever says, oh, you know lots of words. Maybe being complimented on being able to speak a language well, but never vocabulary. No one ever says, oh, you know lots of words. But accent is actually something that's my weak spot in a lot of languages.
Yeah.
Like when I speak Polish, everyone says, oh, you can speak Polish. No one says you sound Polish.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, your cute little accent. Oh, you sound so, oh, it's so cute. If they said, oh, you sound Polish, I'd be so happy.
Oh, yeah.
I probably never will do.
Yeah, but vocabulary, I think more is the words you use rather than amount of words. Sometimes in English, even using a word bizarre is like, oh, how do you know this word? As a foreigner.
This actually goes back to the point I made about fluency before. You don't need to know lots of vocabulary. If you know a language well enough, even like A2, you can get around it. If you know enough words to say what you want to say.
You can paraphrase.
Yeah. So if you could say, like, or speak A2 Hungarian, but with a Hungarian accent, and they say, you sound Hungarian, that would be the best compliment. I'd be so happy with that.
Japanese silence or Brazilian loudness? I have to choose.
Japanese silence.
Why? You don't like eu preciso, meu amor.
Eu preciso falar. I don't know. Too much noise in my life. Too much going on. I need some little rest. I've never been to Japan, so let's try. In fact, I've never been to Brazil or Japan, so that's a really difficult question.
Okay.
Maybe I'll visit them both next year, and then we'll come back again, and I'll give you a proper answer.
Proper review of these countries. Using your strongest foreign language forever or learning new ones but losing your fluency every year?
Only that language?
Let's say any language, Danish, using it forever. I'm not saying Danish.
So I have to walk around Warsaw and only speak Danish, like, hi, Forden,
you're stronger. or Polish, or just this language. Or learning new ones and be able to learn new ones, but losing your fluency, every single year. So
I learned Polish, and then by December, I forgot Polish. I have to learn it again.
Yeah.
This is an absolute nightmare, probably the first one. The second option is traumatic for me. That's my nightmare.
But some Slavic people, when they go, let's say, to England, it's okay. Polish is enough.
Really?
I'm sorry.
It's enough if I'm there, because I'm talking Polish to everyone in England.
Yeah, but not everyone is a freak like you.
No, I know.
But I noticed, or maybe all of these aunts, where they're like 70 years old or 60, they're like, podaj mi to, nie, daj to. And they
in
understand
England.
because it's just like moving things.
It was actually funny on the train with the Hungarian people. There was a Polish woman who was trying to order, which is, to be fair, most of the Polish people on the train had got on at like Katowice and just got a normal ticket going to Warsaw, and they had no idea it was like a Hungarian part of the train. And she was just ordering it in Polish, and the woman was saying, I don't speak Polish. We do it in Hungarian or English. And this Polish woman just kept going, like, herbata proszę. And she said, I don't understand. And she just kept repeating it.
It's looking similar.
Yeah.
Dating someone that's a good one. Dating someone who speaks your language badly or someone who refuses to speak it at all.
Well, the second option is. That's what I do.
It's literally what happens.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Teaching someone who's motivated but shy or someone confident but lazy.
Well, the second option is probably me.
Confident but lazy.
Probably A. Motivated but shy.
Motivated, but so you're.
Yeah, I'm confident but lazy.
Are you lazy though?
Yeah, I try and find ways
Showing
around
up
it.
every single day.
Yeah, and then
on
when
a
it's time
camera
when it's time to do grammar, and I just want to talk about nonsense. They're like, Peter, will you focus? No, I just want to talk about what I'm doing today. That's laziness.
Wow.
But the thing is, I've said this 100 times. I am not motivated necessarily, but I'm just determined, and that determination has to fight against my natural laziness. I don't want to go to the gym. There's people who want to go to the gym every day. I don't want to go ever. And I just say, right, I'm going to do it. That's probably a superpower of autism.
Yeah.
I just decide I'm going to do it.
And
so I
you
just
just
fight against my natural laziness.
That's a good point. French people
No,
pretend.
just not that one.
French people
The
pretending.
other option, whatever the other option is, it's that one.
But that's actually a good one. Let's say that French people pretending they don't speak English, or British people pretending everything is fine.
French people pretending they speak English.
Why?
French people are funny. British people saying that everything is fine. You live in
Yeah,
London.
you're good. You're okay.
Nothing in England is
How
fine.
you doing?
Yeah,
All the
nothing in
time in
England
your
is
ear.
fine.
Oh, it's such a big cultural shock for me.
Yeah.
Because no one cares. As a Slavic person, no one really cares if you're okay if you don't know the person.
Well, when you first spoke to me, I didn't say, hi, how you doing?
Doing?
It's all good. I've lost that. Because I left when I was a teenager.
And you live in Prague, so
Yeah.
you
I'm
have
Slavic
this
now.
mentality.
I'm just an English-speaking Slavic person.
I'm dying, that's so funny. Speaking confidently but saying nonsense, or speaking perfectly but whispering?
The first one was what I do already. I speak
That's
nonsense confidently. That's what I do normally.
That's true. And the last one, learning through conversation or learning through structure?
What, the one I prefer or the one I should do?
Any, what you would choose.
I learn through conversation, but I should learn more through structure.
Before you taught anyone else, you were teaching yourself.
Yeah.
What was the first method that truly worked for you when you realized, that's it, I've got it?
With teaching.
Yeah. Teaching
Well,
yourself.
when I started teaching.
When you started
or was it teaching myself or teaching other people? Because I was.
Both.
Fortunately, when I was a teacher, I was given a method, a textbook, for example. You get a class and they say, this is beginners level 1. You go through this book, chapter 1, 2, 3, over 3 months.
Yeah.
So I just had to go through it, and I knew how much of the book I had to do each class. So that was really easy. And I think that shaped how I learned languages, because I really enjoyed teaching that way and learning that way. If there's a book method for me to go through, I'll stick to it. When you have teachers who just get random bits of paper, today we're doing this, I get lost and I'm thinking, where are we going with this? What's the process? I have this with Ukrainian a bit. They've got an online system.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, where's this going? Because you can't see what's coming next.
Oh, so you need to see the progress and the future.
I like to have a book.
Yeah.
I know what percentage of the book I've done.
Yeah.
Let's say I've done half of the A2 book. And I know there's a B1 book and a B2 book coming next.
Yeah.
And that gives me the focus to know where I'm going. And I really like that. I'm only sad that when I taught English, I never took one student from beginner to advanced. No one stuck it out.
Yeah, never.
No. And I taught for 7, 8 years. I never managed to do it.
Why? What is it with English?
Well, I think it's every language in general. People would come as beginners, and then after a certain point would say, it's enough. Intermediate's enough. Or they would join at intermediate, and it's not as fun because I wanted to teach them from the start.
Oh,
And then they
from
do
the beginning and to
intermediate-
see the results, how you
Yeah, and I never really saw the full result of it. I would, for example, teach students at a school for 1 year.
Yeah.
And they go from this level to this level. Okay, there's some progress there, but not the whole language. Like all the teachers who teach me, Polish or Czech or Ukrainian, they took me from speaking nothing. And when I do the B2 exam, for example, they get the result. They get that satisfaction.
That's true.
I never got that, which has frustrated me, even though I'll probably never be a teacher again after this.
That's so funny. And when was the time when you realized that it clicked for you when you learned, let's say, like a new language, or maybe started with languages at all?
Well, it's progressed over time how I learned language. As a child, I learned mostly by myself.
Yeah.
And that was just because I had infinite time. So I'd sit by myself and write out the words, like 10 words a day, and repeat it and watch television.
Which languages when you were a child?
English, German, French,
Yeah.
Dutch when I was about 8,
Okay.
and then Italian around about the age of 11. So I could speak 5 languages to different levels during my teenage years. And it wasn't until I went to university that I realized there was no limit. I could learn as many languages as I want. I remember somebody
Such
told
a
me as a
feeling.
child, you can only learn 3 languages. I don't know why they said it. It's not true. But it stuck in my head.
Why would anyone say that?
Because they probably believed it. But that stuck in my head that made me not learn lots of languages, or at least try to beat it. Like, maybe one day I'll learn 4 languages. Wow, I'll beat the system. And it was like a childhood trauma that stuck in my head. And only when I was about 17, 18, when I'd gone to university, did I realize, no, I can learn 8. Yeah. Then from there, it just went off. And I started learning with the books, at the university, in the classes. It worked for me. Once I became a teacher, I wasn't learning anymore, which frustrated me. So I decided to just hire teachers with my extra money to teach me languages, which worked. And as I earned more money, I did it more and more and more. And now I've built a language business out of it. So I run a school. Yeah. I hire the teachers based on they've taught me. I know they're good.
Know it works.
I know they're good. It's not like I just hire random people. Or at least I've worked with them or I know them. They come and work for me. I get a bunch of students. And then the school makes me money because the teachers pay me a commission for bringing them students. And that commission pays for me to learn languages. So it's like a circle, it's like a circle going up more and more. So when people say, how do you pay for learning, I don't know, 4 languages at once? Well, I'm bringing these teachers students. They're paying me a commission. I'm like a hamster on a wheel. Like, don't pay me a commission. Just give me free classes. That's basically what I'm doing with Arabic now. I will bring you students, and don't pay me a commission. Just teach me. Done.
That's the most, thing I've heard. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Walk me through your journey with languages, having a timeline. So I understand German and English. These are basically your native languages. Yeah. French, I assume it's at school all the time.
And also I went to France for the first time when I was 3 years old. Okay. It's one of my first memories. And I was so confused. It's not English. It's a different language. This is so cool. I became fascinated with it. I want to learn this.
That's so funny. I had it with Russian. I remember the other day I spoke to someone that I didn't treat Russian as a language.
Yeah.
Because every single time we were going to my grandmother to Belarus, it was just like, we're speaking differently. Yeah. Now I just say, even in Polish, words, jeść, eat, to eat. To me, it's only kusić.
Yeah.
And I'm like, chcesz kusić? And even my husband now, he says, chcesz kuszać? With this amazing Polish accent, I love it. But it's the funny thing, I didn't treat it as a language. I treat it, okay, when we go to our grandma, we speak a bit differently.
Like a dialect.
Yeah, and then when we go to Poland, I speak this language that my mom speaks. Then and all the time. And then it was a bit confusing at the beginning because, of course, I had an accent, then I had an accent, and then all over and over again. But at least I know 2 languages now.
Yeah. I had the same thing or a similar thing with German. So I grew up speaking an Austrian dialect, a Bavarian dialect of German. And when I got older, it was only when I was older that I realized that most Germans don't speak like this. It's like speaking Polish in Russia. You can't.
Yeah.
But I thought it was like the same language. So that's why when I was older, I had to study standard German more at university to be able to speak the correct version of the language. Because I just thought it was the same language. And I'd speak this dialect going to Hamburg and they would have no idea what I was saying.
What's the one method that people have to unlearn in languages? One method, the thing they are doing, that it literally is ridiculous.
My whole social media is about me telling people how I learn. It's my system. I rarely, or I try not to, tell other people how to learn. So when somebody says to me, this is how I learn, my question to them is normally, does it work for you? And if they say this works for me, for example, I teach myself and I have this method, does it work? Yes. Well, then I'm not here to tell you how to do it. The one method when people say, well, this is how I learn the language, and I ask them, does it work for you? And they always say no, is some app. The apps never work for them. Now, if somebody comes to me and says, I played Duolingo, I always say player, didn't do, you're just playing. You're playing Duolingo. And if they came to me and said, it works, great. I'm not going to criticize you. Yeah. But I think people have to unlearn the idea that apps are enough. Because apps are designed to keep you on the app. They're not designed to teach you a language.
You have to be dependent. You cannot be dependent on the app only. It has to be something else. I also use apps, but it's like, it's not enough because it gives me this consistency that I can actually, when I brush my teeth, it's a good method, by the way. You can do some Greek on the app I love or whatever, and then brush your teeth, and then it's a habit when you do it.
It's just an extra thing.
But then you have a class, or you travel to Greece, and then you use these things. You have to actually do something more rather than app is not going to teach your language.
There was a funny video I posted on my Instagram a few days ago about a guy who had been doing Duolingo for a number of years, and he got a 2,000-day streak. Now, I'm terrible at mathematics.
I wanted to say
that's
that,
about
actually.
5-6 years or something.
Yeah.
And then the next clip was, but I can't actually speak French. So what was the point of doing this? You're obsessed with that day streak.
Clicking,
You can't
with choosing apple,
Yeah, apple, orange,
cherry.
pear. Okay, you're good at clicking. Get on the street in Marseille and try and talk to someone. I can't.
Oh, it's full of mistakes, for
Of course.
example, these apps. I think someone sends me, I don't know which language that was, but someone sent it to me and I'm like, it's not even correct.
Yeah. And I've always said there are two main reasons why people use these apps. Number one is they're lazy. They want a low effort way of learning a language. They don't want to actually put the work in.
You cannot do it.
Or it's free.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't have money, that's fine. I'm not there to criticize you. But at least admit you're doing it because it's free. I don't have the money to take classes, or I don't have the money to go and live in that country or visit that country. Accept that you're doing it because it's free. Not for me to criticize you, just accept that fact.
Yeah.
Those are the two reasons why
But there are
people
many
use them.
methods now that you can use for free,
Of course.
which is crazy. But it's just the stress and being shy that stopped people from doing it, which is, I don't understand, but it happens.
You just got to get out and talk to people. As you said, make mistakes, go out and learn from your mistakes. That is the best way to do it.
Yeah. Okay, we're moving to the opposition. You have to give me one piece of advice or method that you truly believe in, that is the best ever on earth, and you have to convince me that it actually works. And the goal here is for me to be extremely annoying, very hard, even if I actually agree with you in the real life.
Call it the devil's advocate.
Yeah, you need to stay calm, logical, and just win the argument. Yep, what's the method here?
The method I use to learn languages, and I believe in it, is to take classes, whether with a teacher or online, and a textbook, and do it every single day.
No, it's too easy to debunk you on that. First of all, I have 9 to 5. So I come back home, even wake up at 8 because I want to sleep a little bit, Then I'm at work at 9. Then what? I finished around 5 and it's night. I don't have time.
I know you don't work very hard when
No.
you're at the office. No, always calling me, writing
No.
stuff. So you could take
let's
an
not
hour.
talk about me. Let's talk like a
No,
regular
you could take an
person.
hour out of that and just say, sorry, I'm not working now.
No, but
I'm
let's
doing
talk
my
about a
classes."
regular person.
I thought that was the regular
No,
person.
let's
The
say,
regular person does 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we finish at like
5.
sometimes 8. You have to commute
So you're doing
to home, and just it's probably 7 by the time you're home.
So that's about 6 hours before I go to bed.
What time do you go to bed?
When I fall asleep, midnight, 1 a.m.
It's too late. I have to wake up at 7.
So what are you doing in those hours before you go to sleep?
Relax,
No,
unwind.
cut that
Sometimes
out.
I watch
No.
a movie.
No, don't do that.
Why? I need
'Cause
some
you got your
entertainment. I was working the whole day.
Yeah.
So why do I
Discipline.
need to sit and even frustrate myself even more and learn a language now?
What are you going to do instead?
Watch my Netflix movie.
So you're
or
not going to learn a
watch,
language? Good.
Yeah, but
Okay, good. Don't learn a language.
No, but I want to. Like my boyfriend is from Mozambique.
Good. We have to do the classes.
But
You have to decide, do you want to learn this or not? If you're not that motivated or determined to do it.
I am. I love my boyfriend. He's from Mozambique.
Okay, forget the
And
movie.
I need to speak Portuguese. But the thing is, I come back home. I need to cook for him. I need to,
Well, you can cook. What does that take? 1 hour. Forget the movie. How much are you doing in an evening? You're cooking, you're watching movies, you're relaxing.
No, I need to relax
Cooking
after
is good.
I need to relax after my 9 to 5.
Yes, but it's 1 hour a day.
1
Just
hour.
1
When
hour.
do I do it? Before sleep? So then I cannot fall asleep because I think about the language?
No, you're going to watch the movie and relax before you sleep. You're going to do the classes as soon as you get
Okay,
home.
so walk me through that. I can come back. Then my boyfriend
wait.
visits me because, of course, we don't live together before marriage. And then he comes here and I talk a little bit with him. Then he leaves. I cooked for him, and then what next? Like when it's already let's say 8 when he leaves, or sometimes 9
You finished work at 5.
Mm-hmm.
How long does it take you to get home?
hour.
6.
Sometimes you cannot enter the train in the UK, for example, or in India because it's so full of people. You cannot
Don't live in London or India. Move.
Okay, but let's see.
I'm
cannot
very,
change
very
it now.
logical with this. Any kind of problem you have, I just go, don't do that.
Okay, it didn't convince me, Walk me through the plan then. Okay, let's say I'm home at 8:30. Guaranteed I'm going to be at home.
So how long? It took you 3.5 hours to get home.
What do you mean?
Well, you finish at 5.
6:30.
6:30,
Yeah.
okay. That was a long trip home. It's 6:30 now. You're going to have a little snack. Every day at 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, you're going to have your class. And then your boyfriend from Mozambique is going to come over at 8 p.m. and see you for 2 hours. And then when it's 10 p.m. and he goes home, you can watch a movie.
No, at 10 p.m. I have to fall asleep.
Well, then no movie.
But
Sorry.
I need to unwind before bed.
No. You'll be exhausted after the language class.
And then I will be thinking about mistakes, about progress.
Don't worry about the mistakes. When you sleep, the brain will work the mistakes. And then the next day when you have your class, it's great. I'll allow you to take Sunday off.
But you know,
I'll
I have
change the
kids.
system 6 days a week.
I have kids at home. I need to take care of them.
Wait, you just said you weren't.
I
you
changed
weren't
my
seeing-
mind.
You changed your mind.
I have
It's a
kids at
different
home. What do I
situation
do now?
This is a different person. Now it's not Mozambique person. Different
No,
one.
my boyfriend is from Angola. No,
Angola?
husband. My husband is from Angola. Yeah.
It's not hot chocolate, is it?
No, it's not this guy. No, but he's from Angola.
Why are
we
all
have
these husbands
kids.
from Africa? Why are they all Portuguese
Because I need to
Africans?
learn Portuguese. I love this language.
Okay.
So he's from there, and just like we have kids at home, they're running all together. Also, you know, his family, they're very, very friendly. Always family coming into our home. So many people around our house. So I don't find time to learn.
So you're married to an Angolan in this situation.
Yeah.
Okay, so he can take the kids for an hour with the family. You're going to go into a separate room and close the door and lock it. You're gonna
We're
sit
not
in there
that
for an
rich
hour.
that we have a separate room where I can lock myself and just learn a language. I'll actually, we have only 2 rooms.
2 rooms.
Yeah.
Good. 1 room for the kids and all the noise. 1 room.
And
for
they're all like,
Or next to the
all
example,
10 of
no,
them
we
in
live
a-
in a big studio room and we all sleep together in a bunk bed.
okay. It didn't convince me still. Like,
Well, that's the whole thing about my social media. I'm not here to convince anyone. I come across this all the time when people have so many reasons why they won't do it. And I am one of these people who go, okay. When anybody comes to me and says, convince me, I go, my job's not to convince you.
yeah.
I gave you a system how to do it. You can do
Are
it.
you
If
either
want
going
find
to do it or
excuses,
not?
Believe me, they will find excuses.
Yeah.
And believe me, if I lived their life, okay, I wouldn't learn 4 languages. This is my full-time job.
Yeah.
Learn 1. And okay, it was an extreme example. Every single day.
Yeah.
2 or 3 times a week. You can find time.
Yeah.
In your 9 to 5, you're not working on Saturday. Let's assume.
Yeah.
You could at least do it on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Or Tuesdays and Thursdays after work, 7 until 8. It's just 1 hour. If you don't want to, don't do it. Okay?
That's true. That's
Fine.
the goal of the opposition segment, that there are always going to be excuses.
Yeah.
And even though my next thing to say to you was also something with like, okay, but I can do it once a week. I don't have to do it every day.
Fine. You'll just progress much slower. So be it.
But I need to. I have this
If you need to, you'll
Mozambican
do it.
boyfriend at home.
You've got Mozambique boyfriend and Angola husband.
And they don't want to learn. They don't want to learn my language.
So, terrible husband.
No, I'm joking. My husband is Polish. Okay. You lived in the UK till
Yeah.
the moment that you were 16. Is that correct?
17.
Yeah. Why did you leave UK?
Well, you live in the UK, so you know exactly why someone
No,
would
but
leave.
everyone has different reasons.
I absolutely hated the weather. I hated the culture. I didn't want to only speak English. I wanted to see the whole world. I'm also the son of a pilot and an air hostess.
Yeah.
So it's in my blood to want to go to lots of different
that
places.
makes even more sense.
Yeah. So I didn't want to go to university in the UK.
Yeah.
I decided to go to Austria just to escape. And I went to live in Austria, and it had everything I wanted in my late teenage years. I could travel around Europe, see new countries, go skiing, go to lakes in the summer. It had everything. I loved it. You can't do that in Nottingham or in like Sheffield. There's nothing to do in these places. Yeah. So I left. And then I decided just to keep moving until I found the place I liked. And after Austria, I did find the place I liked, Italy. And it had everything I wanted, except an economy that functioned and I could actually make money, besides like a bit of money under the table.
Yeah.
So I had to leave. I went to Holland, thought that was, I won't use bad words,
Yeah.
not the best place. It was like another England, basically. But it was the first place I got a real employment, like 3 years, where I could actually be paid, pay taxes, be in the system. But I just got bored of Western Europe. I thought it was too woke, massive immigration problem. You didn't feel like you were part of the society. There wasn't really a Dutch society in a way. So I decided to move to Eastern Europe, the Czech people will be very angry at me for
They'll
saying
be
that.
angry. Don't say that. Even Polish people now. Because Poland, as you can probably notice, it's a heart.
It's a heart.
Like on the map, we're in a center.
Okay.
So
I
do
moved
Czech
to
people. Central Europe.
Western Europe, because we're west of you. So. Czech Republic. I moved to Western Europe.
What were you doing before you started doing languages then?
Or being a school child. I've always done this. I've never worked a 9 to 5.
But
I've never had a job.
professionally, were you always doing languages professionally?
I was a teacher, an English teacher and a German teacher.
Where were you teaching then?
Well, in Austria, I was obviously.
In Austria?
I know now as a student in Austria.
Yeah.
But once I was in Italy, I studied Italian at an Italian university. I got my first teaching job in Italy.
Yeah.
Bit of a nightmare, because it turns out the people running the school were mafia. But we won't get into that. So I left very quickly. I taught for 3 years. Taught for 3 years in the Netherlands, and I taught also about 3 years in the Czech Republic. Before the coronavirus happened, I wasn't going to sit through the lockdown in March when it's like 10 degrees. Took the last flight out of the country to Dubai before the borders closed. Thought I'd be there for 2 weeks. I was stuck there for 4 months for the whole coronavirus lockdown. And when I was there, I just decided I'm not going to teach anymore. And that was basically the end of my career.
And then you...
And I just started working on these different projects, different online businesses. And I finally got around to making content about 15 months ago. And it worked. It just went viral, went straight up from like 0 to whatever it is now, 160, 170,000 followers. And I just made a business out of it.
Yeah.
So I never needed a 9 to 5.
You mentioned Dubai.
Yeah.
You just, came back from Dubai as well. You really like this place.
Yeah. I think it's amazing. There are things that you can criticize it for.
Of course, yeah.
But as a foreigner, you go there and you know that you're going there as a foreigner and you'll never be one of them. When foreigners come to European countries, after a few years, they say, well, I am Polish now. I am British. I am French. It's mine. Give me everything. If you go there, you can't. You go there to work or you go there to build a business and you follow the rules.
That's what I was thinking. You go to such places like Dubai to focus on yourself and be like, everyone does something. Everyone runs like crazy to work for their dreams. But when you're in any of the other countries, people are like, wow, you speak so many languages. And even this, it's nice that they praise me, but okay, I do. And in Dubai, it's like, okay, you do. And I learn, 1,000 langulanguages.
Yeah.
And there's always going to be everyone who's better than you.
And you can start a business and you don't pay tax. Imagine you just don't have to worry about tax. You have to do a tax form.
Yeah.
I think the rules have just changed that you don't pay tax up to something like $300,000 a year. Can you imagine that? You make $299,000 a year and you pay 0% tax.
Yeah.
Can you, why would I live in the UK or anywhere else with 45% tax?
Yeah.
I know you also have some concerns that it's an Islamic country, but if you ever go there, you don't notice it. It doesn't feel like it. All the Arabs are living their own
friendly.
life.
They're also friendly in Dubai, I notice, and so many of my friends where they go, though, of course, you need to...
You don't notice it. Yeah, there are certain rules about modesty, but also in Christianity, it basically follows that thing. Don't be half naked in the street. I mean, it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
So I don't really notice it. It's like this huge economic zone where you can just be and everyone just lives together and everyone follows basic modesty rules and you don't notice anything. That's it.
How did you live through that? Because, of course, in Dubai, the weather is drastic.
Yeah.
And especially in the summer. And are there any special types of materials for these clothes? Because sometimes someone from Dubai said it to me once that it's better for your skin because, of course, skin cancer and everything, you're not that exposed to the sun. But is it done from some of the special materials or something?
You don't really go outside.
You don't
During
go
those
outside.
4 months, in Dubai, you don't have to go outside.
Yeah.
You can if you want, but you just go from building to building. And often these very tall towers, you'll see them here in Warsaw, these tall skyscrapers, they'll have bridges between them. Like a bridge that just goes over the road, like a walkway. You just go from building to building to building. If you need to go far, you drive.
Yeah.
Or you take that metro. Or you get in a taxi. You spend almost no time in the sun during those 4 months. Or you just escape. If you're actually rich, you'll notice that all the rich people who live there just fly away.
Oh, yeah. And most of the buildings, coming back to it, are cold. In the building,
it's freezing. Like even here, it's warm. If this was in Dubai, it would be colder than this room. This is winter in Poland.
Yeah.
It will be colder in the summer in a room in Dubai. The air conditioning is so strong.
Coming back to languages, what's a moment when you realized that a language finally clicked for you? That it was a time where you went somewhere, you said something to someone, and then you're like, okay, I can really do it.
There are many languages that I've learned which I've never spoken besides with my teacher. I've done maybe 2 years just with a teacher, never gone to that country, never used it. And I know it clicks the moment I walk into that country. And this is the second person I've ever spoken the language to. I now have A2, for example. I can actually have a conversation.
Yeah.
And that's the moment it clicks. Oh, I actually can. Doesn't matter what the haters say. They can
Yeah.
criticize me as much as they want. I just ignore them. If I can go to that country and I can speak to somebody, they understand me, I understand them, it's clicked. Might not be perfect, but I am happy.
Yeah, many of us also are stuck in a box that I touched also at the beginning. I'm still learning.
Yeah.
And it's hard to distinguish when I finish learning and when I actually can. Because, of course, it was the same thing for me. I noticed that every single time when I was learning Portuguese, I was like, I'm still learning, estou a aprender. And I never was like, eu falo. But then, like, how do I change it? How do I switch from actually I speak Portuguese to I'm still learning? When is how to distinguish that? Because
This is my problem in Polish now, because I'm finishing. Like Polish class, finished forever probably. It's done. We'll never learn this language again. But there's still more I could learn. And it's so hard for me to say, I speak well enough. I'm actually going through the B2 exam as we speak. Like last week I did like the grammar part and the writing part, and I've only got the listening part to do next week when I'm back in Prague, and then it's done. And do I speak the language? Well, yes. Could
You can hold a conversation.
Yeah.
That's
Could I
the
keep
goal.
learning it? Yeah, of course I could. But there's a point where I just have to say, I'm done. I'm going to move on to something else. Because I could learn Polish for the next 20 years.
Yeah, that's true. And become poet or academic
Yeah.
tutor.
Or live here and get a Polish passport. I don't know. Why
You
not?
know.
Well, I'm about to get a Czech passport, so I think that's enough for me. Once I've got one EU passport, I'm done.
That was the goal.
That's the goal. Then
these
I can move
languages, then I
away.
stopped this career.
Yeah.
No need for language. That's the
Finished. I'm happy.
Okay. At the end of this episode, we have this occurring tradition, which is strongly inspired by Diary of CEO. So please, guys, don't. I know, yeah, I was inspired. And the goal is for every single guest who's going to be coming will give a piece of maybe advice that they believe in, or like the best language learning method, or the worst language learning method. And as there was no guest before you, it's the first episode, I will be the one who'll give you the best advice, in my opinion. And you have to confront that. You have to agree. You can agree with that. You don't have to agree with that. And just let me know.
Yes.
So my advice for you would be the best ever advice to learn a new language is to have a book of let's say a Spanish textbook. And when you go to sleep, you just put this book under your pillow and you fall asleep. And then when you wake up, you just know the language.
Have you ever tried it?
Yeah.
Did it work?
Yeah. From maths.
Great
yeah.
advice. There you go. I accept. I won't be doing it myself, but if it works for you,
Well, why?
go for it.
Why? You
Well, I
think
might
it's
try it tonight and see if it works. Let's see. I'm not confident, but if you say this works, then let's give it a try. It's like those people who believe that you can listen to a language. They put headphones in at night. They listen to Spanish as they sleep.
Yeah.
I have no evidence that it works at all.
No, it didn't work. I just made it up.
I'm sure you did.
So now, as I shared the statement, please tell me maybe the worst language learning, like the worst 100%. I know we spoke about so many topics and you probably mentioned that and I know what you're going to say, but the worst language learning method, and then the next guest is going to answer on that.
Am I allowed to do as I always do and famously criticize Duolingo as the worst
Anything,
language
I don't have
learning?
to agree or agree. It's just
Well,
your
the next
opinion.
person, we'll see who's coming on. But no, Duolingo is the worst, absolutely, in my opinion.
Duolingo or the apps?
I haven't
language
used
learning
other apps. I don't want to criticize other apps, but I believe strongly that Duolingo doesn't work, and I'd be very shocked if any other app works. They may invent some app that involves speaking. You're able to talk, but I don't think the feedback on that would be as good as a real teacher. I understand why people use them, but I don't think they're the best language learning method, and I can't think of a method that's worse than an app that I know of.
Would you like to be also in the fake polyglot wall? So we're going to take a picture and I'm going to, you don't mind being...
I'm going to be on the wall.
Oh, never mind, yeah. You'll be
If
there
you take
anyway.
a picture and you put it in a
That's
picture
fine.
frame here,
There's
so it'll be
gonna
you and me.
You have no say anyway, because it's just like a first podcast, we need to make this tradition.
pretend.
Yeah. So let's take a picture.